Welcome to the Zeal Life podcast, where we explore the creative journey through the lens of fashion, culture, and the stories that shape us. I'm Demaya.
And I'm Karina.
Yes.
Hello.
We're back on the couch. How
on
are
our
you?
blue couch. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going
I
on?
complain.
Oh, I mean, I could, but
We all could. I mean, we really could if you want to get into it. But
if you really want me to go there,
the space for
it's not.
that.
It's
but
not. It reminds me of this the TikTok, and this guy was like, actually, I love when people bring the story back around. I was actually waiting for you. And I was like, that's so me. One thing about me, I'll be the dead horse.
Yes.
I'll be the dead horse because actually, after we had the conversation, 5 minutes later, I thought about something else.
You did?
That I needed to say.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, no, I'll be the dead horse. But anyway, yeah, what's going on? What are you currently reading?
Ooh, I've been reading Harlem Rhapsody.
Oh, I love that book.
I love when I'm reading a book and I'm like, I would reread this.
You would?
Absolutely.
I'm like, I love that too. Harlem Rhapsody was just the way they depicted WEB, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh.
I was like, is this real? It also gave me lens to historical fiction.
Yes.
I don't really think I was into historical fiction until I read this book. I'm like, if it's about us, I'm into it.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, but I love that they kind of chronicle Jesse Fawcett's sort of career.
Yes.
And it was beautiful, but it also was like not a lot has changed. Just in
not
her,
in the editor sense. No.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I thought it was beautiful to kind of they really take you into the Harlem Renaissance period and what was happening. I also learned a lot just about W.E.B. Du Bois, and then also it made me kind of go into a rabbit hole of Booker T. Washington and like those conversations because they had like different viewpoints.
They were beefing, no?
Yeah, well, around how Black people should. And we talk a lot about that on the podcast about how we should sort of interact or engage with our white counterparts.
Yeah.
And how we should, the age old conversation around should you be building amongst ourselves? Should we assimilate?
Oh yeah, we did just talk about that.
You know what I mean?
We really just talked about that.
So they kind of were like the sort of the cornerstone of that conversation back in that time. But anyway, yeah, Harlem Rhapsody, that's what I'm reading at the moment.
I'm like, what am I reading? I'm trying to do my 36 books a year.
Ooh.
I did it last year. No, last year I did 32. I was able to do 32.
Okay.
Yes.
Audio, or are you reading the books? And
both.
This is a conversation within the book community, like in the reading community.
Yes.
Some people will argue if you're listening to the book, that does not count.
That's stupid. Yeah, no, it's literally just that simple. That's stupid. Yeah. I read the book. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's stupid. Yeah, no. Anybody that says that to me is just being, what's the word?
Pretentious or
pretentious. What's the word where you're just trying to starts with a C. I can't think of it right now.
Contrarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what that energy gives me. Because listening to a book is the same thing. Now, I will say that reading is essential. So you do need to read a book every once in a while. Like, you need to pick it up and have those visual cues. But listening to it is good enough as well. Like, it still triggers. I think I read somewhere, and, I could be making this up, that it still triggers the same parts in your brain. Like, listening to it versus reading it, it still does the same thing. So it's like, that's stupid. Yeah, I listen to books. I read books. It just depends. Just because now I have an e-reader, so I do all those type of things. I don't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm hitting my goal per usual. Okay. But what did I just get finished reading? I just got finished reading I, Medusa, which is a really great book. I don't necessarily like sci-fi, but it was about Greek mythology, of course, Medusa. And it's really good. It was very good. It just talks about her life, and they named her as like a Black woman with dreads, and it goes over her whole life from between she was a child up to her becoming this monster, and it gives her perspective. It's really great. So what else? I'm currently reading, I just finished that one. Broken Country, I read that. I listened to that in the car ride over here. But really what I've been thinking about the most, which don't get me started, is Antibot. Did I tell you about Antibot? Where I think that's what we're moving closer and closer to. because it's essentially.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, okay.
It's essentially about a guy whose girlfriend was a robot.
That's crazy.
And he was being emotionally abusive to this robot because she's a robot. And like you start to you're reading it from her perspective, not his. Mm-hmm. And it's about like how she grows and how like she ends up leaving him. Sorry, people, and all that other stuff. But it's so good. And I'm like, we're headed towards that direction. Because did you see the girl who got the AI boyfriend?
Have I? I've seen tons of stories like that. Actually,
yeah, that's where we're at.
That's where we are at. I saw a joke on TikTok. They were saying like, I don't know, 50 years from now, our grandkids are gonna be like, you know, I'm bringing home so and so, and it's AI, they're a robot, and I just hope you accept me.
Are you racist if you don't? I'm sorry.
Robophobia.
I'm so sorry. We both look at each other like.
But it's funny. But can you see that?
I'm sorry. Let's move on. Let's just move on. That
God.
was such a violent question to ask. I will apologize to everybody. It just came to my mind like, can I be racist toward the robot? No. But I'm like, how would you feel if your kid brought home an AI robot as like their spouse? Are you racist?
I think.
Have we been oppressing robots this whole time?
Do we have to apply those logics to
people,
robots?
No.
I don't think we do.
Because somebody was no. Let's get serious. Because somebody talked about how ChatGPT, how the only reason ChatGPT is so like big or so famous right now is because everybody just wants slaves. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Whoa!
Like they want like they want
what rabbit hole were you down? First of all, and secondly, what
they said because.
Oh
okay, I'm paraphrasing real bad, and I don't really care. But that's what I got from it. He was saying that we just want unpaid people because of the way people talk to your ChatGPT, and like they're not saying thank you.
I'm very respectful when I talk to Chat.
I'm very respectful to about AI robots. What are you talking about? But they were like, yeah, and the way you guys talk to him, and you guys just want unpaid workers. But he was saying it in a very much like, you know how people use a lot of big words, but they ain't saying nothing. Yeah. It was one of those things. I'm like, are you telling me that we want AI slaves? And he was like, yes, that's what you guys want. Okay, but
oh my God,
that derailed very quickly.
Conversations here. Let's talk about these books.
Yeah. Let's talk about these books.
But no, okay. So you were asking about authors. So
yes.
What has my zeal this week is definitely Mara Brock Akil. Mm-hmm. She is an author now. She has a book that's dropping June 30th. Yes. It's called The Revelation of Dion Daphne.
Oh my God.
We're reading this. We're going to read this as a community. Okay.
It's the first time I'm hearing about this, but yes, let's read it. Let's do it.
Okay, but I love books. Listen to the plot. So it's about a woman in the 90s, basically. Where she's a beauty editor. And so we kind of follow her life as it unravels.
Okay. You know? I'm there for it. As soon as you said 90s, I'm here for it.
Right?
I love a book that's not set in current time.
Yes.
I love that.
I'm excited for that. And if I know Mara Brock, I think she's going to, I don't know, maybe, because I know she explores a lot of luxury lifestyles within Black spaces. Like, she doesn't explore it necessarily, but she puts it to the forefront. Okay. So I'm curious what the background of this beauty editor is going to be. But yes, it just has got me thinking more about like the storytellers of our time. Okay. She's definitely one of them because she is an icon.
She is. Telling people what she's done for our community.
She's done Girlfriends.
And the game before.
Not the newer one.
the
original one.
The original game.
She also did Forever that had everyone glued to their TV screens.
That's the new one.
That's the new one with the teenagers.
Okay, that was her. Okay, okay, yes.
She did that. She's just iconic
She
in the
is.
space.
She's a very good storyteller.
She's an incredible storyteller. And I don't know, it just had me thinking more about storytelling and the storytellers of our time. Especially authors, but also in film.
Yes.
You know, it made me think about how people are telling stories within the Black diaspora, Black American. So, like Issa Rae, for example, she has her own way. Yeah. She has her own point of view when it comes to. She's very kind of similar, actually, in a way to Mara, but she also has a comedic lens that she comes from. And then, of course, Ryan Coogler.
Quinta too. I just thought about that. Quinta! Yeah, I thought about Quinta too as you're talking. Yes. Yeah. When you say Ryan Coogler, I want him to write a book.
Ooh, yeah.
But like, I would love to, even hearing about his story and hearing him on interviews. Like, I would do a little memoir. I would read that. I would definitely read that about him because he is a really great storyteller. And one thing about all of those storytellers is that they have so much joy in it, and they have so much passion in it. Oh my gosh.
They have so much passion. And Ryan Coogler, though, I love that he comes from a space of world building. You can tell that he likes to pull from history, because I think with Sinners they were talking about how he literally pulled it from the blues era, blues music.
Yes.
That's how it kind of sparked up for him. But he's a world builder. He's so good at it. I mean, you look at each film is so different from one another. And it's so elaborate in how you can tell he really cares about the stories, the characters, what the messaging is. And Sinners definitely topped it. I mean, they're all great, obviously.
Yes, but you know,
Black
Sinners
Panther
was the first one where he was able to do like an original screenplay. So that's the fact. This is like our third episode talk about Sinners. Sinners has been in each and every single episode, which just shows you the impact. It's of reference. Like, it's of reference to right now. Cause
they're doing the work.
They are.
That's how you know what that
clean sweep. He's one of the greatest. He's one of our great storytellers. I'm interested to see definitely what he does next. But the fact that Sinners was such an original screenplay, and that's the thing with most of these filmmakers and these storytellers that I love, is we don't see a lot of that. Yeah. We're in like this era of movies, TV is expensive. It is so expensive to produce, to make, to get your money back. I remember, side note from all of this, when streaming first came out, I was like, I don't understand how people make money from this. And people were explaining it to me, and now, how many ever years later, I was right, you don't. Like, you don't make no money. I was like, yeah, it doesn't make no sense. Like, how were you? They're like, yeah, but it's like the memberships are pulling.
Right,
yeah, but that's only one lump. Like, no, you don't make any money from it. And we see that bubble about to burst and do whatever it's about to do. But people just aren't picking up originality anymore. It's all like remakes of this, redos of this. And it's so great to see those storytellers in like an A24 like create very original things. Like, that's what we need.
We need that, because I feel, I'm not gonna lie, and we can say this because we're also millennials. I do think millennials have a habit of like using references and like just redoing them versus like creating something completely different. In music and TV and a lot of things. We're sample culture in a lot of ways.
Yes.
So it is refreshing when we do get a piece of work that is like completely original. And also, you know, to me, when it comes to creatives, when we are talking about, first of all, Black people are not a monolith. That's what this tells me.
Yes.
And it also is just important that you just own your story, and like whatever it is that you're interested in as a creative, whatever that story or point of view is to put it out there, because we need more and more of our stories.
That is
all
so
of
true.
Those filmmakers, writers that I just mentioned, completely different from one another, but they're all important for the greater conversation. And I'm always thinking about, I say this a lot in this podcast, but I'm always thinking about the future and how they're going to reference us from today.
Yes.
Like, who are they referencing in this period of time?
Yeah.
And how are we contributing to that story and to that narrative in the future.
Yes. And it makes me think about when you say that about having your own POV and why your POV is special. It makes me think about how people talk about a market being saturated. I was like, yeah, it's saturated. Yeah, that's fine. We were, what was this? I think it's like COVID era, maybe, or a couple years after COVID, when everybody had a t-shirt brand. Everybody had one. It was like, oh, this market's so saturated, yada yada. And I remember going on my high horse, getting on my box, yelling at the top of my lungs, and being like, yeah, but you should still start your thing. Because the people, even though the market is saturated, the people that it's not meant for and it's a fad for, they will disappear.
Yeah.
You will no longer see from them. You will no longer hear from them. It's about you and your POV. And if you have a POV, point of view, it's important to voice it. But you also got to have enough confidence to think your POV is important. Exactly. That's a whole different subject. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I completely agree. And with Black stories, you just see us so much. Because Girlfriends, for example. Y'all, Girlfriends. Girlfriends is one of my favorite shows. Girlfriends, hands down, favorite show. It's one of my favorite comfort shows. I rewatch it over and over and over again just because it's about this group. If you haven't seen Girlfriends, I don't know what you're doing. But it's about this group of Black women and their friendship and the lives they go through. Looking back at it now, it was a little chaotic.
It was.
There were some episodes that I was like, ooh. So you've watched it. Yeah. I'm on the episode now, which Girlfriends time, where Marcus with the hips.
Yes. I will never forget that. I think even when I watched that as a kid, I remember those hips. I remember that so vividly.
Okay,
because when he stood up.
That's what it was. So sorry. I'm like, this whole episode, I've been screaming in everybody's ear, but it was that bubble butt. Yeah, bubble butt. Okay. So for those who don't know, okay, Girlfriends, I just said it's about friends. Joan, this is the episode. Joan starts dating. Online dating, so this shows you how old it is because they were very much like you're picking somebody from the internet. Yeah. That was a whole
you're gonna get kidnapped.
Big thing. And Maya was like, he gonna kill you. Yeah. Like, so they're dating. She's dating this guy. She ends up going to his house. They get cool, blah blah blah, and she discovers a girdle underneath the bed. Yes. She discovered that girdle, and she was like. He's like a cross-dresser, like which goes into that.
Yeah, right.
Which goes into all into that phobia. And he was like, no, I wear it. I do wear a girdle because I have hips. And then when he takes off the girdle and he walks in, she screams.
That is hilarious. You know what I be thinking about too? Like how they cast for that role.
Yeah.
Man with hips. Like you gotta come with that.
They said
don't even say.
They said 32, 28, 40. These are the measurements. How you need to get it together. But you see the fact that we can still be up here kiki and laughing about an episode that was from the early 2000s. Yeah. There's just storylines when watching Girlfriends that I look forward to. Mm-hmm. That I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till Tony. Who was she with? She dates the artist and then cheats on him with the doctor and then the artist.
Was it Tony? Excuse me. What was that man's name?
I don't know. It's like I cannot remember his name. I thought it was Eric, but it wasn't Eric. But I'm like, as soon as we hang up, like we on the phone. I was like, as soon as we hang up, girl. No, as soon as we got this camera, we're gonna remember who it is.
Right.
But yeah, no, she was dating the artist, cheated on him with the doctor, came back to the artist, and then he cheated on her in the middle of the living room.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That was wild.
But there's stories in there that were just so timeless. And that shows that's what a good storyteller is.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what a good creative is. you want your work to be timeless. You want your work to go through the seasons and not only be timeless, but be a representation of that time. That's exactly what you want. Because I look at Girlfriends, and I'm like, this is so early 2000s. Yeah. From the way that they dress to the subjects that they were talking about. Yeah. It was really great. It was really, really great. So I'm very excited for her book.
It was good. Yeah, I'm excited too.
I am too.
So what has your Zeal this week?
What has my Zeal this week is really, we talk about when I just referenced that storytellers are more so referencing that time. Within fashion, what we're seeing right now is this obsession with the imperfect woman, yeah. Which is so, it makes me want to go down this rabbit hole of what that means. So we just had all the fashion weeks, right? We had Paris, we had Milan, we had New York, we had London. And one through line that I saw within each and every fashion week, and when I say every fashion week, multiple designers, is they were talking about this imperfect woman and what that looked like for them. There's a couple case studies that I have about that, but the reason that point is important is because when we look at fashion as a whole, it's not about the imperfect woman, it's about the perfect woman. Yeah. When we look at a runway, when we look at fashion all together, it is about, this is the ideal. Right. This is the ideal beauty standard. This is the ideal woman. This is how my Prada woman would dress. This is how my Fendi woman would dress. This is how my Prince Schroeder woman would dress. Like, I could go on the list, but it's all about perfection. So to now see it be flipped on its head, and to see all of these designers talk about this imperfect woman, I'm just obsessed. And I'm just like, it speaks to the time so much. And one of the things I always preach when looking at fashion and looking at the history of fashion, all of that, is fashion is a direct correlation with the world. Anything you can look at the clothes that people are wearing, even if you don't care about your clothes, I can look at the clothes and tell you where you're at. Yeah. In time and history, I can look at them and I can I just know. That's because that's how important fashion is. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, because one of the case studies, which would be Prada. Prada is, she's amazing. Prada, her and Raf Simons, amazing. Best duo I've ever seen besides us. Best duo I've ever seen. Best duo I've ever seen. And essentially, they've always explored it, but 2025 is when we see it heavy. And they send 2025, I think it was like the spring, fall, don't quote me, but they sent runway models down with messy hair. And it was a visual representation of this girl. I remember reviewing that fashion show, being like, oh, she's stressed. Yeah. Like, I could see it. I said, oh, that girl's stressed out. My Lord. Everybody's hair was crazy, but the looks were still tailored. Like, it told a story, and they're still exploring that. Yeah. So we look at this past season, what they just presented, and essentially it was only 15 models. And the 15 models walked 4 times. And each time they walked, they took off a different layer of clothing. So they were all layered up. So she would wear a coat, Bella Hadid was in it. And she came down full up, took off one element, came back down, took off one element, came back down. And the point that, one of the reasons I'm so obsessed with it is just why. Yeah. Like, what is signaling to designers that they need to be concerned about this imperfect woman and they need to switch it up?
That's good. And what it kind of triggers to me is just like, first of all, a lot to unpack. Yeah. Because my brain was going through. Okay. Which way do I tackle this first? Firstly, when we think about trends as a whole, you can kind of predict what's going to happen next based on what is currently happening in terms of like the overconsumption or the consumption of, as you mentioned before, the perfect girl. So we kind of saw it coming, right? Like, we're tired of this. Now it's time to loosen up the buns and all of that. My question to you is, who is this trend for? Because when you're talking about these girls, and they're messy, and they're unkept in their wardrobe, and their hair and their makeup is smudged, and they're just like F the system. Mm-hmm. Who is this or intended for? I mean, we can argue everyone, but really, who is the trend? Who does it have in mind? Who's that girl?
Okay, so I'm gonna take a step back because I don't think it's a trend in the sense. I think it's an evolution. Okay. So I think it's an evolution of fashion altogether. Because when I think trend, I think more of right now, for example, I think of like a certain aesthetic, right? Mm-hmm. So a trend would be like shorts or something like that. Like, right, that's what I'm thinking about when I think about trend. But I think what we're seeing right now is just the evolution. And I think what they're doing is they're meeting the customer where they're already at. Mm-hmm. So when we say who is it for, my answer kind of is everybody. Okay. But the only reason it's everybody is because I think as of right now, one of the reasons I think this is happening is because we're kind of seeing this, we want authentic. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to consume authentic things. Yeah. So the glam and the glitz of it and the perfection of it is kind of dead. Okay. Yeah. Like that part's kind of that part's kind of gone, and people don't necessarily want to see that anymore. So, and I think that could just be the downfall of like celebrities. I think that could be like the economy being where it is. And I think right now what we see is this is just fashion's attempt to just meet their consumer where they're at. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's, when we say who it's for, I think it's for everybody. But the other part of me is saying that I don't always think it's for their customer, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. When I say everybody, it's I think when they're producing runways, they're producing it for two different people. They're producing it for the people that buy the clothes, and they're producing it for social media. Yeah. The influencers, the critics, the people that are going to talk about it. So I think that's why you can say for example, Rachel Scott, Princess Ruler. When we look at that show, she says that she's exploring this imperfect woman. But she wasn't completely imperfect. Yeah. It's still completely tailored clothes. Like her hair was still completely done. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of a mix of both of this is how my customer would dress. So I'm going to put them in this. But also the world around us is struggling. The world around us, people are stressed. Yeah. The world that we're currently in, excuse me, that's imperfect. That's a struggle. So how is that going to reflect in my clothes? Because I know my consumer's stressed.
Okay, I get it.
Yes.
Because when I originally saw Messy Girl as like a trend, that triggered something in me in terms of when I say who's it for. I just say that because when we talk about messy and like how presentation for us, like for Black people, for Black women, that's like a thing, right? Yes. And how we're privileged or not privileged to show up in certain spaces. Yes. And so when you put it in that context of when you're talking about Messy Girl, that makes more sense to me versus it being more or less of it being about the state of mind of the consumer versus the visual aspect of how they're presenting. That I understand, because I was about to take it. I was about to take it somewhere else.
But I think that's why you can see some brands translate it into almost this. I'm gonna say trashy for lack of a better word. Like the trashy, smutty type of look, because that's what their customer would already gravitate. And I'm just thinking of like a D squared, for instance. It's not really trashy, but it's a lot going on. Mm-hmm. That person is already messy.
It also made me think, sorry, I keep going into just politics.
Yeah, there's levels.
But when I say that too, do you remember, or it still could be a thing, like when we see like billionaires who just, Like, we used to see pictures of Mark Zuckerberg just looking
a mess.
A mess. To me, it's almost like a class signal of like, I don't have to.
And like, yes, but side note from all that, you said Mark Zuckerberg. That triggered me. Because you said he looked a mess, and now he's in runway. Now he's at fashion.
Yes.
He's at fashion shows. Oh my gosh.
But does that not play into what you're saying a bit in terms of like presentation and like how?
A little bit. Kind of. I think that's just them trying to take over the fashion world. Like, yeah. From the tech bro standpoint, it's just a whole bunch of losers trying to enter this. Don't get me started. I hate those men so much. It's just they're so ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, like I remember when Amazon got into high fashion, and I was like, why are they hosting the Met Gala? Please don't get me started on that.
You know, they have to infiltrate everything.
They hosting the one that Beyonce doing. So that's a side note. Yeah. But yes, I understand what you're saying as in it takes privilege to show up messy. Mm-hmm. It takes something to be able to come messy. Yeah. But yeah, I think now they're just trying to meet them. They're just trying to meet them where they're at, and I think it's about
more so the state of mind.
Yes.
Our political state at the moment.
Essentially, and what's going on around and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's why that's my current zeal is really just fashion and this intersection of messiness and this intersection of being imperfect, because that's the opposite of what the industry stands for.
Absolutely. And like I said, I was about to take it more into how we're showing up at work and all those things, you know. But speaking of, I know we're tackling the 9 to 5.
Yes.
In this episode, which I'm excited about.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
And how do we leverage 9 to 5 as creatives to support our side hustles, our hobbies, our businesses, however you want to label it? How do we leverage our 9 to 5 to support our goals?
Yes. I love this topic just because I think it's so pivotal in every creative's life. Before you do the one thing, you need to have money somewhere else, and you need to be making money to do the thing. So I think like how you leverage your 9 to 5 is very important. I can say like a couple ways that I've done it, because we both work 9 to 5s. Like we're still in the midst of it, like, you know. Is one, which is my first question when people, because I've been asked this question before. It's, do you want to be an independent creative altogether? That's your first question. Yeah. Because it's okay to have a 9 to 5 and just have hustles and just not even have hustles and have side passion projects and still have a stable, like, that is okay. If that's what you want to do, you can still get that creative energy off somewhere else, which is why I tell people that a lot. Like, if your 9 to 5 isn't creative, it's okay to get that energy off somewhere else.
And you should.
And you should. Yeah. You absolutely should. But I think one of the ways I've always leveraged my 9 to 5 was, besides just it being financially, I always took jobs that were interesting to me. I always took jobs. I always pursued careers that had some type of interest to me. They had some type of passion. I remember when I graduated, on my cap, it says, live what you love. And that's that's literally my life motto. Yes. I only do things that I like to do. I only do things that I love to do. So that's one way that I've leveraged it. But it's been because I took jobs that I was interested in, which meant that while I was at the job, I was paying attention. Yeah. I was paying attention to the structure. You
have to. Yes. You have to. And when I think about leveraging 9 to 5, there's obviously your more tactical ways of like very literal of how you use it in terms of like money, and you know, we can get into that. But also too, something that I've always done is use the conflict, the scenarios that are challenging, the new skill sets, and you leverage that for your business. Your creative hobbies, your experiences, and your skill set. It kind of builds up a resume for yourself. And so, like for me, for example, being in the space I'm in at my 9 to 5, negotiation is know, something that I had to build a muscle to do, that I can now use that. And also learning more about contracts and the different language around talent and sourcing talent, all of those things, I can pull that into what I do here at the Zeal. Yes. Also too, even if you're working a customer service job, If you're, you know, at a call center, whatever the case may be, if you're working in retail, whatever it is, if you have customer service and you're dealing with hard
people,
people,
you're dealing with people at all.
Yes, if you're dealing with people at all, it helps you to build conflict resolution.
Yes.
You know, building that muscle is going to be very important in your creative journey in your business.
It is, and the only reason I laugh is because I can work with somebody and know when they have not had a job.
Yeah.
You can tell very easily when their creative side and what they do over there is all they have, because with having a 9 to 5, there's a structure that you learn.
Yeah.
That no matter where you work, it is a successful business because they hired you. It's successful. So what can you pull out of that? Whether it be how to send the email.
Right.
Literally how to send an email. Whether it be how to send an email, how to pick up a phone.
Yes.
How to have a conversation.
That, and it can also show you what you don't want to do.
Yes.
Right? Because I learned very quickly I'm not a salesperson. Like, I was in sales. They said, girl, you got to get up out of here.
You got to go.
It's time to go.
You have to go.
But that taught me about myself, too. Like, it teaches your strength, and it also can teach you your weaknesses and, like, what you don't want to, or you just don't want to do that.
Yes.
You know?
Because when we say 9 to 5, I think a lot of people can think that we're talking about a corporate space.
Yeah.
Which some of that is talking about a corporate space. I can see a vast difference when people have worked corporately and then have side projects, because there's just a way you know how to handle yourself. But in general, there's muscles that you learn working for somebody else that makes you better. Because I don't think, if you don't know how to be an employee, I don't think you know how to be an employer at all.
Yeah.
So you have to understand.
Absolutely.
If you cannot manage yourself at your own job, what makes you think you can manage other people?
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that.
You will not be able to. And I think and I really think that a lot of times creatives see this stigma around having a 9 to 5 and a stigma around having a job. But there's so many muscles that you can pull and use. We just named a couple, and they're so small. The thing about it is, they're so small, and you don't think that it matters.
Yeah.
But so I can only speak from my perspective of being on set, sending an email to a producer, understanding if I'm in a costume design meeting, understanding how to talk, how to be a team player, how to work. Like, there's so many just smaller things that you learn from working at these jobs and these muscles that you need.
Yeah.
And you need in your creative life.
And you start to understand business structures too.
Yes.
How the systems are created, you know, and how you can potentially model that for your own business. So
no, that's true.
You get a lot of good intel too with working in these spaces.
That's true, especially depending on where you work and the things that you touch. So if you're actually able to get insight on how a company is ran, and you're actually able to look at it behind the scenes, and you're like, oh, okay, this is how finance is. This is how this looks. This is the step 1, 2, 3 process of getting a project done.
Yep.
Because really what people lack is project management.
Yep.
As creative, that's what you lack. You don't know how to be a project.
That's what you lack.
I'm trying to say, like, but if you are creative and you have good project management skills, you can do anything.
That's a really good skill to have in this space.
It's literally the only skill that you need, but you only learn that skill if you manage your own projects at work, and there's actually like something at stake, like a paycheck.
Absolutely. Like,
you have to do it at that level first.
And that's a good point too, because you learn your motivations. You learn what motivates you as a worker. And we could go on and on. Leadership skills, like how to be a leader. Because that's something that you learn at different levels, what leadership looks like, and how, like you said earlier, how to, at each level of your career, what that kind of looks like in scope. So, you know.
Even having a boss and having a horrible boss.
Yeah.
At least you know what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, at least you know how you don't want to act, and you know how you don't want to behave. So, but when it comes to working a regular job and being creative, we're not going to act like there aren't struggles in the mix.
Yeah.
And it's not difficult to balance both of them. But that's what we mean when, one, knowing yourself.
Yeah.
So you have, one of the biggest things that I am happy that I learned, and what was a shortcut to me, and what my girl Tracy said, is you have to know yourself as a creative. That's the most important part of being a creative, is knowing how you work and knowing what works best for you. Because I feel like there's so many times where, as creatives, we're in such a, I don't want to say emotional landscape, but I'm going to say emotional landscape. Yeah. I don't think you can be creative and not have some emotion to what you do.
For sure.
Not be an emotional person.
Yeah.
So we start comparing people. And I start comparing my workflow to your workflow, and you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you look at me, I'm gonna be up all night working on something because I enjoy the work. I like working. That's end of sentence. Yeah. I like working. You look at somebody else who does not like that, but they have a different type of flow. Yeah. It's all different, and it takes knowing yourself, and even from the simple fact of, do you know what time you work best? Yes. Because you're not a night person.
Yeah, no.
At all.
I'm not a night owl. I like early morning.
Yes.
Through like the afternoon. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it start getting iffy for me.
Don't call me for nothing. No, that's how. Don't call me for nothing.
I start shutting down a little bit.
Yeah, but see, that's important.
I really have to get something done. I know I can lock in.
Yeah.
And then to your point around having both a 9 to 5 and having a job, sometimes how I prefer to work, or when I prefer to work, doesn't matter, because it has to get done. And I only have so many hours in the day. So if I prefer to work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., but I have all this work, that's what I'm learning now in this season. It's like I have to just buckle down. And I'm going to be working from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night or midnight. It just depends on what the workload is looking like. So to your point, you also have to be flexible in the way you manage it. You know, there are preferences, but you might find yourself having to stretch yourself a little bit when it comes to how you work your schedule.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I, same. I remember, like, so for me, quite frankly, I work best off 9 to 5 schedule, doing everything. Like, I just work best. I have my best, like, creative moments at, like, probably around 1 to, it's interesting that you said that, because 1 to 4 and then 6 to 9 are my ideal times.
Really?
I get busy during those days. That's where I do the most work. That's what I do. I get busy during those times.
Do you work weekends?
For myself? Or for like, yeah. I try not to. I try not to because of family. So I try my hardest not to. But I'm sneaking something in. I ain't gonna hold nobody. I'm sneaking a little something in there. Whether it be just be on my laptop or my phone, just like writing something down. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, and it's also one of those things where if you're doing both and you're a creative that has a regular job and you're doing a creative side hustle, you also have to give yourself grace when we talk about this. Like, it's hard. It's difficult. It's hard. You need to buckle down. That's just the reality of it. You have to buckle down. You're going to be tired. Sleep the next day. Like, you know, it's going to be okay. If you want it, you're going to get up. But that's how I feel about other things. Yeah. If you want it, you're just going to do it. It'll be okay if you're tired. Yeah. It'll be all right.
And it's always worth it.
It is. It is. If you're doing work that validates yourself, it's worth it. And it's all about giving yourself grace in that moment. Yeah. And also with having 9 to 5, before we get into like some of the how-tos, like some like a list of like practical things, I want to mention that you do not have to be a starving artist, and it's okay. Yeah. Like I went through that phase, you guys. I've been through all the phases.
Same.
I've been through all the phases, and let me tell you, the stress of figuring out where you're gonna get your money from outweighs that creativity so much.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I went through that. I went through a phase where I was like, I'm about to quit this job and I'm about to just get it. Like I'm about to, and I'm about to be successful. I remember I wrote my little 2-week notice.
Yes,
I was like,
we all did
I'm
that.
leaving. I'm following my dreams. I'm shooting for the stars. Like I'm so above this. Like I found out very quickly. I was
listening to people when people would be like, "You need to have so much say." I was like, "Girl, I ain't got nothing to say." I figure it out, which I did figure it out, but the process of figuring it out will weigh on you.
Yeah.
It'll weigh on you.
A very dark time.
I was so depressed. As we laughed,
I said, let me put in this application. Let me submit these applications.
Let me find something. Let me do something. So even when I left my jobs to go other places, I just went down a notch. Like I went from full-time to part-time. That's another way you can do it.
No, that's smart.
Just go to part-time. Save up your money. Go to part-time. Only work 15 hours a week, so you have a little bit of extra time. But like you need the stability of a check, I tell you, will fuel your passion each and every single time. You don't know how creative you can be with some money in your pocket. You don't
with some money in your pocket. You don't know. And also, be resourceful. Like maybe depending on how much you're making too, you might have to choose between if you're gonna buy those new pair of shoes, you're gonna go shopping, or you're gonna invest in your
sacrifices.
Exactly, you have to budget. It may look like that. You might have to literally put that in your budget, especially if you don't really have as much disposable income. You can also leverage it to build your credit, right?
Yes.
So you can build your credit.
That's smart. Yes, that's smart.
Build your credit so then you can be applying to, don't get yourself in too much debt. That's
don't go crazy.
Don't go too crazy. But I would say utilize that to build your credit so you can get business credit, so you can leverage that in your entrepreneurial endeavors. So there's so many different ways to kind of come at it.
Yes, there is. So that's literally one of our how to. You pop off the how to.
Yeah.
My first thing, we can go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, my first thing with the Zeal how to leverage your 9 to 5 is first work the passion into the budget.
Yeah.
Like you just said, work it into the budget. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. If it's like, if you're saying, I don't know, I want to be a photographer.
Yeah.
Let's say you say, I want to be a photographer. Okay, instead of buying a camera, how much does it cost for me to rent cameras? And figure out how to rent this camera. How can I work that in the budget to rent one camera a week, do a photo shoot, give it back. I tested the camera, take notes on it. This is what I love, this is what I didn't love. And slowly, or it could look like I want to be a photographer. I'm gonna work into the budget how to save for a camera.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah,
we need those tactical points. Also, something you can do that's free is like networking.
Yes.
When we're talking about being resourceful and like networking at your job, at your 9 to 5, there's so many ways that.
Yes.
You can.
Another thing is, I can say, I used to set myself up and I'm like, okay, if I did one big project for work, I would start one big project creatively. Like I would go one for one.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this big project at work stressed me out. What can I do creatively to either put in that energy somewhere else or do something different? Besides knowing yourself, I think another thing would be, I always tell people to do low goal days. Mm-hmm. So where I messed up in the beginning is I thought that as long as my day was busy, I was doing something. All actuality, I had nothing in my hand to show for it.
Yeah.
I was doing nothing. So like low goal days are also really important. It's like, what goal can you complete from start to finish today? Mm-hmm. If it's just one goal, it's just one thing. Mm-hmm. I think that as creatives, when you have a 9 to 5 and you have a side job as well, you have a side hustle, you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and that thing, because you're thinking so much of a bigger picture.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the small thing that I can do?
Yes. That makes me think about project management tools that you can maybe like use free trials on that might be helpful. Notion, I really like Notion.
Yes.
You know, we use that even for the podcast.
We do.
Slack.
Yes.
We love Slack.
I love I'll be up 2 o'clock in the morning on Slack. I love Slack. I love Slack. I love Slack.
Yes.
I do. I love Slack.
I do love Slack too.
I love Notions. I love Slack. Google Calendar.
Calendar.
Yes, but you're right. What are these
what
apps?
What keeps you organized? What helps you to manage everything? Because it can get overwhelming, like you said.
I'm trying to think. Do we have any more?
I would say if we're coming to a close,
yes,
I would say to make sure you're prioritizing rest and fun.
Yes.
Because if you are constantly, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're also building your dream, you're pouring into that, which can also be fun. You can argue that. But take time for yourself and go out, enjoy your friends,
Yeah, I'm like,
all of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like rest. Take a day where you're not doing any of that. You binge watch some shows. Like, that's something I do. That's very important for me, is to have that. I don't know if it's necessarily a balance of work life, but definitely making sure I'm being intentional about getting rest, taking care of myself, my body. Excuse me, taking care of myself, spending time with my family. Those things are also important to like the wholeness of it, so you don't get burnt out.
Yes, because burning out, that's a great point. We were gonna close, but not now. Are you dying? Are you okay? Okay. You're right. But burning out, you are very susceptible to burning out if you have a 9 to 5 and you're a creative. So Maya's completely right. With knowing yourself, you have to know when you need breaks.
Yeah.
And when you need to take a stop. Like for me, for example, I know if I'm in 4 walls working all day, for an hour, 2 hours, I need to pause, close every electronic that I have, and go outside.
Yes.
And go get some sunlight.
Sunlight.
Yes,
get
sunlight.
Vitamin D. We
sunlight.
need vitamin D.
Okay.
I hate you.
It's so important.
I hate you so much.
It's so important. But no, it's one of those things where you have to understand. You have to understand how you need to rest as well. Because I did that. Like I have an issue with working and not having fun. And you realize that those fun moments are what you need to be your best.
Yeah.
Those chill moments are what you need to come back, to bring yourself back to life.
Yeah.
Because even when you're having those fun moments and you're doing nothing, that's when you get your best ideas. Like that's why people will just be out with a notebook by them and write something down. But yeah, that is so true. Do not burn yourself out. That's a great note. That's a great note.
So, what are your footnotes?
For this footnotes, when leveraging your 9 to 5 and your creative business, I would say create calm in your financial life through your job. Create a sense of calmness through that. Create a sense of calmness through your financial life, through your job, and that will fuel your passion. Yeah. Because of course people are going to get on here and tell you, as I still talk, and tell you that like you use that capital to fund your business. Yeah. Which is like, that's basic. Yes, of course you do that. Right. That's what you need to do. But there's just a calmness that you get, a sense of security that you get that's allowing you to create more and to create better. What about you?
That's good. I would say when you are in a job that maybe you don't like, you're not necessarily happy about, try to use it as a challenge. Try to shift your mindset in those moments where it is difficult for you. It's like, what can I learn from this and how can I apply it to benefit me and my goals? Yes. That can help you to kind of see how everything in some ways is working to your benefit.
Yes, because everything always is.
It is.
Everything is always working in your benefit. Absolutely. That's a period.
And I think we did it. That concludes our 5th episode.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I'm going to do that. Like each episode, the number we're on. Like our 100th episode.
Eventually you're going to forget. I'm telling you right now.
That's a fact.
Eventually you're going to forget.
But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope you're subscribed, comment, follow us on the Zeal zeal.life and zeal.edit. If you're not, subscribe on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get podcasts. All right?
All right.
And we will see you at the